Mic check. Check, baby, check, baby. 1, 2, 3. You know, there's never going to be a right time to do your thing, to execute on that idea. So let's talk about what you do instead and why things are the way they are and how to just go about it. Let's jump in. Yeah, what's up everyone? My name is writer-director Edgar Ibarra, and this is me screwing up my own intro because it's late. What's up everyone? So this is the end of my day, but I know the beginning of this video, and I just kind of wanted to show you guys just a little bit of the different things that I covered. Just a crazy day of running around, and then got to end here. That's my camera behind me right there, if I can get in the background. Got to end here at the Rito River once I am off the clock right now, or once I have been off the clock, and just wanted to kind of give you guys a taste of, you know, what my crazy day's been like. There's my work vehicle right there. Been living out of that thing, thankfully. But you know, it's just been crazy, and but I love what I do, and I hope that, let me see if I can steady this out. That's one thing that I always wish for everyone, you guys, is love what you do what you love, do something that you love, do something that you at least like. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and go on home and finish the rest of this video for you guys after my crazy day out on the streets. So I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. Yeah, what's up everyone? My name is writer-director Edgar Ibarra. Welcome to Filmspiration. This is The Process, and I still screwed that up, but we're just gonna keep on rolling with it because it's like past 10 o'clock, another late day, all over the streets of Tucson, Arizona, reporting the news. I'm a little tired, but again, not so much that I'm not gonna get a video out to you guys. You guys can tell I got the cap on. I'm not even gonna pretend like my hair is presentable. It's not, but you know what? This cap ain't a bad look. I dropped the light also in the background, so lighting a little different. I actually kind of like it, to my surprise. But I was thinking, man, like I've got a problem. It's a good problem to have. Here's the situation. I have a job that I'm blessed with. It's a job that I love to do. I'm a cameraman for an NBC News affiliate out here in Tucson, Arizona. I basically get to be out in the streets in the journalism format, telling stories, gathering the stories. I'm sorry, not telling, but gathering the stories and then turning that content, interviews and B-roll and natural sounds, into news stories. You guys can catch it on, KVOA.com. That's the name of the website. I'll go ahead and throw that in the description below. But I'm blessed with my job, and this industry's been nothing but good to me. It's been a crazy, blessed, wild ride full of lots of love and lots of just good overall. Not one day has ever been easy, but I'm so blessed to have the job that I do have. The flip side to that is that it's a very demanding job. I get what I consider to be one of the more the blessed roles of just being out there and gathering the content for the stories, and I love it. And that's why, you know, today was raining, and you know, and what comes along with that are the demands of being at different locations and different times, because you have to go where the news was. Today I started my day out at a Sam's Club because of a long line, because, you know, of everything that's going on. Was just kind of all over the place, and so these demands oftentimes will, you know, your work is work. You know, I'm gonna make it work for work, and I kind of like that. I'm gonna make it work for work. And basically what gets shifted around is my personal life. I kind of spoke to this last night a little bit. So, you know, sometimes I'll leave the house a whole lot earlier than I regularly do, sometimes later. Sometimes I'll get home a whole lot later, and sometimes earlier. So it just kind of all depends. But the thing is that because there's this ebb and flow, you know, you'll also have periods of time longer, like the majority of the time, you'll have periods of time when things are balanced out, when you have that balance in, or the steadiness of, your regular hours and whatnot and this and that. But, with COVID-19, aka coronavirus, that's kind of out the window right now, and that's fine. That's to be expected. So given that, things are constantly shifting and changing, and that's just something that I've come to understand and accept a long time ago, there's never, at least in my case, there's never a perfect time to, sit down and edit, preferably and traditionally, within the past, bunch of months in my life, it has been 4 a.m. to 8 a.m. and whatnot. I've not always been able to count on those hours, but for the most part I have. But here's the thing, like there's never a perfect time. There's not a perfect time to do anything, to get to that project, to write that script, to call up those friends, have a pre-production meeting. Like that perfect time, that doesn't exist. Now, let me talk about, I know the way that sounds, but let me talk about what I mean by that. That doesn't exist in that it's never just going to just be there in front of you on the table, like, you can hear the angels coming out of the heavens, and it's there. It's not like that when when you're in the adult life, and then much less when you're in the news industry. And again, that's the thing that's to be expected. That's fine. So it's about what you're going to do with it. And so that's why there is no perfect time. There's just moments where you just get to work. You just get to work and you make it happen. And, you have to throw the concept of perfect time or perfect timing out of the window. I do understand that, there is planning with regards to film productions and whatnot, but let's talk about, my feature film that, we started 2 years ago now, and actually 2 years ago, in March of 2018. And, after so many years of not doing, feature film, I completed a feature film in 2009 and then did a bunch of shorts till about 2013, 2014 to about 2017, jumped back into doing the more serious structured narratives. But when I'm, I got asked left and right, and I got encouraged also, like, when are you going to do another feature, Edgar? Your second feature. And I just thought, I was never looking for the perfect time, but I just never got around to it. You guys ever have that feeling where you just kind of, you're not shying away from it, but damn, you just haven't gotten to it. And that's all it is, really. In those cases, you just have to do it. You just have to step in. You just have to jump into it. And, I know that for a lot of, filmmakers, maybe with regards to, well, I need this gear, or I need this editing system, or I need this to be perfect, or I need this other thing, or that, you guys and gals, if you keep on doing that, you're either A, never going to get there, because, to get to that point of where everything's perfect so that you can start your thing, and all of the circumstances in your life are perfect so that you can start writing that thing or start shooting that thing, you're never going to get there if you're waiting on those things. Or B, are you coming up with excuses because, we've all heard the whole thing of, can you handle success, or are you ready to handle success? It's something there. There is something there if you're going to keep on putting it off. Again, in my case, with regards to getting around back to my next feature, I think personally, like in hindsight, from about 2014 to about 2018 till 2017, when I was doing more stepping back into the structured narrative shorts, I was really having a great time rediscovering my voice as a filmmaker, crafting my voice, not even rediscovering it, we've never been there before, that type of thing. Crafting my voice and recrafting my voice. And I loved it. And so it eventually came a time where I'm just like, all right, like the feature, I'm either just going to do it or I'm not going to do it. Simple as that. And so I just decided, you know what, it's just time to jump into it. It's just time to step into it, because there's never going to be a perfect time. It just goes back to that thing I was telling you. If you're waiting for the perfect gear, for the perfect funding, for the perfect props, for the perfect locations to come through, for the perfect crew to come together for you, for whatever your, you know, your definition of that perfect is, you know, you can get close. And I do pray that you get close, but it'll never be absolutely perfect. You just have to jump into it. You just have to step in and do it, because things are always going to be shifting around you anyhow. I mean, in my case, it's more work schedule. I once heard somebody in the film industry say, you know, like the thing that makes me good and passionate about storytelling, which is storytelling itself. Like I'm a sucker for a great story, even a verbal story. I get to hear stories every day, and I get to, you know, then hand that, you know, those interviews and that B-roll off to other people to turn those into stories. And I'm so in love with that process. But this person went on to then say, that's kind of the thing that is also one of your greatest challenges. And I said, what do you mean? This person said, well, you know, because of how demanding your job is. And I said, yeah, it is demanding. So it's a push and pull between, like, you know, doing the thing that I love to do, that's been good to me, that's been nothing but a blessing to me here in the news industry. But on the other hand, and this thing has made me strong, because I do consider that going to work every single day is like going to basically film school, on a tech side, on a theory side, with regards to how I shoot, how I choose to edit some pieces, etc. So it's been nothing but beneficial to me on this side. But at the same time, on the other side, you know, it has helped me be the foundation for my filmmaking right here on top. But on the other side, you know, I've never been able to fully give my entire energy and attention to strictly the filmmaking, because I need a job. I need a regular job, and that news industry has been that regular blessing of a job. And so it's a push and pull, really, honestly. And so that push and pull, and when you're caught in or when you find yourself in a position like that would be the better word to use. It's not about choosing which one is right and which one is wrong. If you're going to look at it like that, I don't know, good luck. I mean, I just don't choose to look at it that way. But if you're going to look at it like that, in my opinion, good luck. The way that I choose to look at it is, you know, I have two different blessings on both sides. I got my day job career over here, which is basically a hardcore foundation for this other thing over here, which is filmmaking. And it's just about balancing it out. And that's where the discipline comes in. The discipline that I require of myself to even sit down when I could or should be going to sleep right now. But no, damn it, I need to get a video out. I want to talk to you guys. I need to talk to you guys. It's that discipline to get that video out. It's that discipline to also wake up at 4 a.m. So that's how it can be balanced out. It can be balanced out by the discipline. Are you going to put yourself on a regimen to get things done? Because there's never going to be a perfect time. There's always going to be that thing that comes up. Something fell through. Somebody fell through. Some money didn't come through. You know, there's always going to be something. Always going to be something in the adult world. And I don't have kids. I see my friends with kids, and I respect that, like massive respect to them, because I don't know if I could ever do what they do with regards to, like, you know, juggling schedules and maybe soccer practice over here and ballet practice over here and things like that. And then birthday parties on the weekends. Like, it's a lot. It's a lot. And I'm not even part of that demographic. So to all of you filmmakers who have the kids who are doing all the balancing and the juggling of all these things, man, kudos to you. I can't even speak to that. I'm not even going to try to. Kudos to you. do your thing. There's never going to be a perfect time. There's never going to be a perfect time, not because it can't or shouldn't be done, but because that perfect time won't ever present itself. You just have to jump in. See, and my phone keeps on blowing up still, but you just have to jump in. You have to do your thing. You have to jump in. And guess what? You also have to understand that you have to be okay with letting go of perfect. I saw this awesome thing floating around on Facebook a few years back that said, don't let perfect be the enemy of good. Thought about that for a moment. I'm like, don't let perfect be the enemy of good. And I thought, well, that's true, because you know what? When I myself have seen people try to reach for perfect, where everything has to be perfect, or let's say, even when a production does come together perfectly or whatnot, it's so sometimes, not all the time. So don't jump all over me, but we all know those film projects where sometimes the filmmaker or producers are shooting for perfect to a point where it almost seems very stiff, because every camera movement is trying to compete with Hollywood, or every look is trying, you know what I mean? And so it looks too perfect. And so in those very specific productions, they feel almost, they're trying too hard to be too perfect. What I've learned from almost 17 full years in the news industry, coming up this July, is that you have to be okay with letting go of the notion of perfect. Because when you go for perfect and too perfect, especially when maybe you can't afford to, or maybe you don't have the time, or maybe you got a day job, you got to go to that, and you just don't have the time to spend, to dump all this energy into perfect, then guess what? You have to do the best that you can with the time and the resources that you have, and you have to do it in a timely manner. And let's take it a step further. You have to be okay with the fact that it's not going to be perfect. And hell, maybe even those imperfections of maybe the way you move the camera, maybe the way you dance with the camera, maybe those very specific little imperfections are going to be specific to you, to where maybe your stuff's not looking the way you want it to look like in that how-to video. But then you start to notice a pattern of, wait a minute, all these little things make up a feel of what my work is. Maybe that could be your work. And then by letting go of perfect, by letting go of that thing that is, this bullshit illusion that, that we call perfect, you learn to be okay with letting go of that, and you further find your own voice, or your own flavor, your own style, or how, whatever you want to call it. Let go of perfect. There's never going to be a perfect time. There really never is going to be a perfect time. That's why, as much as I would love to do great how-to videos, maybe videos about gear, maybe show you videos, that give way more exposure to my day, out in the field, and there are the limitations, because I do separate apples from oranges with regards to, my job, out of respect for that industry and my employers and my employment. As much more as I would like to do, and I promise you I would, this time is what I have to work with. And so this is what I can share. I'm happy to share it. But all the other editing and dropping in videos and whatnot, I have to go to bed right now. I have to go to bed. I have another long day tomorrow. So, but this is what I'm able to do. And it's not perfect. It's freaking far from perfect. Let's be honest. Sometimes I wonder, why would people even want to watch another talking head on YouTube? And I'm a cameraman in the news industry, but I'm also claiming filmmaker and whatnot. Please check out the movies, by the way, with the link in the description. They are there, but I would love to show so much, but I can only show so much, or at least with the given resources and time. It's not perfect, but guess what? I'm okay with it, because I hope I'm providing you value, at least through, you know, the spoken word here on camera, and documenting, you know, whatever I can convey to you. Anyway, you guys, there's never gonna be, guys and gals, there's never gonna be a time where it's a perfect time for you to do your thing. That's why I'm always saying, consult your higher power. If not, run out there, do your thing, tell your stories. You just have to run out there and do them. You have to let go of the notion of perfect. Never let perfect be the enemy of good. Shoot for good. Shoot for really good. Don't shoot for perfect, because perfect doesn't exist. Shoot for really good, like really, really damn good, to where you edit a scene over and over again, or you know, a video or whatever it is that you're making. You watch it and you watch it and you tweak and you watch and review and you watch and you review and you watch and you review and you watch. Do you get to that point of saying, ah, here it is. This is good. Not perfect, but this is good. Get to that point. Learn to be okay with getting to that point. Anyway, I love you guys. I'll talk to you guys later. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, please do so, as well as the bell right next to it. That way you're notified next time I make a new video. I'm going to go ahead and drop all the social links down below. I love each and every single one of you. Again, higher power, consult your higher power. If not, run out there, do your thing, tell your stories, and let me know in the comments below. I want to hear about, you know, what you got to say about perfect. I love you guys. I'll talk to you guys later. Adios. Bye.